the common thread throughout all of these people, many of them were researchers, was that they felt that cannabis was a miraculous substance.
Well, it certainly is. Well, the deal is it has two different forms, right? It has a smokable form, which, you can get really fucking high, or it has the edible form, which is like a psychedelic. Yeah, but it's like a psychedelic. It's very much so. It actually is more psychoactive. There's something called 11-hydroxy metabolite that it's only present when you eat it.
I see.
It's processed by the liver. There's something called a 1-pass. And when it goes through the liver, it produces this 11-hydroxy metabolite that's somewhere between 4 and 5 times more psychoactive than THC. And it's responsible for people thinking that they got dosed. Like a lot of times when people eat edibles, they go, oh my God, this isn't pot. Something's in there. Well, it's just the 11-hydroxy metabolite. That's what it is.
Know about it.
Yeah, it's way different. It's way different. Like, that's why it's confusing to people. Like, oh, I can't fuck with edibles. It's a different drug. It's a different drug. Because 11-hydroxy metabolite is not present in psychoactive form when you smoke it. So when you eat it, that's when you get that really fucking weird body high and interdimensional relationship.
Is it better, worse? Is it more interesting?
Well, for the tank, it's bueno. It's the best for the isolation tank. That's my favorite. My favorite is a good stiff dose
of an edible.
And then, wait about 45 minutes and then get in the tank. So because 45 minutes, it's like, the way I describe it is like with certain psychedelic drugs, and I do consider edible marijuana psychedelic, especially when you get into the 100 milligram, 200 milligram doses, it's very psychedelic. And especially in the tank, because in the tank, when in the absence of any visual stimulation, when your eyes are closed, you have these wild, almost like neon visuals. Like you start seeing these strange dancing cartoons and like weird shit.
Unrelated to other substances?
You can get similar situations on other psychedelics, especially in the tank. The tank is a really unique way to experience anything, even normal like the normal state. The normal state of consciousness that you have without any drugs at all, inside the tank, it transforms, right? Because in the absence of any sensory input and you don't have anything coming your way, you don't feel your skin, your brain starts really getting free and loose. And it gets very confusing as to what's reality and what's not. What are the boundaries of vision and interpretation and just creativity? Like, how much of this is your imagination? How much of this is not? When you add any sort of psychedelic to that tank experience, everything gets ramped up. It's like, you add some drugs. When you mix them with other drugs, they become like way more potent. That's what happens in the tank. The tank in and of itself is some kind of a drug, or it produces some kind of profound drug-like effects.
Can it be banned?
The tank? No, I don't think it can. How much experience do you have with the tank?
Not much.
How many times have you done it?
I've been in once, and it was when I was a teenager.
God, man, you should have one. You really should. It's just a great way to relax, too. It's a great way to, and you, as a mathematician, you think of things, and you're spending a lot of time contemplating things, and you have to realize that any other input, whether we think about it or not, is chewing up some bandwidth.
Yeah, although I actually have a kind of ambient level of distraction, which is most helpful for... Look, when I get out there, I get way the hell out there. And
so you like an ambient level of distraction?
Sometimes, for example, I'll go to an all-night cafe at like 2 in the morning, and there'll be just enough human... I mean, I have very ambiguous feelings about humans.